What is up, guys? Welcome to the Being Beautifully Honest podcast and channel. Thanks for being here, being subbed. If you're not, hit the button, and if you're listening on YouTube, hit the like. It's like walking in the room and hitting that light switch. Let's brighten up the place and get into this beautifully honest reaction. I want to share a little bit of this part of the Carlos King interview on his podcast with Claudia Jordan, where she's going into a little bit more about Al and Armon that I find absolutely interesting. So let's just go ahead and get into it.
His contract negotiation was up at that time. I didn't really know. I don't really get into everybody's business like that because I feel like we just ran out of runway. 6 more months. Who knows where we could have been, you know? And it just got ugly, and then people feel like they had to pick a team. It was like a divorce, you know? And then people got brought in. I didn't really have any power over that. I really didn't. I suggested people, but I didn't.
Are you responsible for Armon being on the show?
No.
I'm
not.
You're not.
So you caught that, right? She definitely, it wasn't her choice. So I definitely found that interesting.
Honestly, and I've had this conversation with him already, and we actually are in a good place now. I wasn't for it at first. I really wasn't. First, I feel like I wasn't told that, I was like, this is your new I feel like the decision was made without my consideration, and I felt like, well, damn, I felt a little disrespected. Like, this is my baby, Like, I shouldn't have a say. I feel like I know what I'm doing if I put together a hit show. And then I didn't really have I used to send him messages, like, on his commentary. I already had this conversation with him, so Armon, sorry, I'm bringing this back up, but we had conversation. I said, I think you come a little hostile with black women sometimes. Like, sometimes you come a little mean. And he's been a one-man show, so he's been able to do what he wants, and it doesn't affect anybody else. Let
me pause it for a moment, because I'm not trying to be Armon's cheerleader. Trust and believe I'm not. But not to really sit and compare and contrast, but hasn't Funky Dineva been accused of the same thing? Maybe not the same people, but we can look at the history, and Funky Dineva definitely has been called out on the things that he has said about black women and how he comes off harsh and whatever. And I'm just saying, I again, not trying to be Armon's cheerleader, and it's her right to feel however she wants to feel. But I just really found that a little bit interesting, and maybe possibly a little bit hypocritical. But again, I'm just saying, that's all, because I caught it.
I'm on this show, I get blamed for my co-host if it's a man speaking on a woman. Like, how can you let that happen? I don't have a bridle I don't have a mouthpiece on these people. They are here on their free will. They say what they want to say. And sometimes I get held responsible if I don't always check someone. I don't want that kind of work environment where I have to always check. So I want people to just be them, But also there was some more conversations that were kind of keeping us from even speaking to each other. Like, he didn't pick up the phone when I call him because he was told not to by someone. And
while you guys were working, or after?
Yeah, like I was trying to call, way before the roast. Like, I would try to call him and be like, all right, that was a weird episode. Let me try to call him and figure this out. And he wouldn't pick up. So I'm like, how are we ever going to get our chemistry together? But later on, I found out that there was a reason he wasn't picking up. He was told not to by someone. And that just kept us at odds, and it made, like, the show like this, and it was them against, it was Alan and Armon kind of against me, it felt like, and it just didn't feel good. And all it took was a phone call where we finally got on the phone to talk, and, like, wait, I was told this. Well, I was told that. Oh, that's not true. Oh, that's not true either. And then once we figured it all out, and I can't really say that much about that because we're still trying to save this thing here. But, people are smart. We actually started working on our relationship. We had much better on-camera chemistry. And, like, he just came and supported a roast I was in. And he's like, I'm so glad we're in this place now because it was, like, uncomfortable. And it was uncomfortable for me, too. And I want this show to be, at least appear to be 3 friends or 3 people that like talking to each other, and, like, I can't wait to hear what you got to say. And friendly battle. Like, TJF was a place you can have debate, and we may disagree wholeheartedly and say some shady stuff, but then we can, like, get it together and on to the next topic and laugh again. That's how it's supposed to feel.
I will agree with that for the most part. That when I did watch it, That's what I tended to see. If there was some heated discussions about topics where they didn't agree, or maybe 2 out of the 3, 2 was on one side, 1 was on the other, they eventually could wrap it up and get to the next topic and keep it moving. And they were staying on the times, so I will give them that.
It's supposed to feel like that. It's not supposed to feel like too serious and uptight, and that's the magic of the show. So I'm trying my best, like, to like really cultivate and have a good relationship and chemistry with Armon. So at least, you know, I have that going. You know, we can like have some laughter, some fun, and some like little shady moments. And I told him, you can like make shady comments. I told him what my boundaries are about things that I don't like to be made fun of. And then, you know, and likewise with him, sensitive issues. And he gets it. And he's been great. He's good at what he does. He is very polarizing. Some people love him and hate him, but I'm like that too. So who am I to like say, oh, I can't have that? I have the same exact perception of me, you know? So, yeah, we're just trying to, like, see what happens. We're on a hiatus now. Today was supposed to be our vacation starting today. It was already planned for months, and to go back July 9th. But there's just been a lot of, like, stuff happening. Mm-hmm. So it's like, everyone take a breather, extra 2 weeks, just break. I've had no break in 4 years. I've been 5 days a week for, like, 4 years straight. Plus doing movies, plus doing college show, plus doing
Deal or No Deal
Island, plus doing couples retreat, plus doing the movie trope, plus doing Do It for the Gram, plus making appearances. I am tired. I burnt the candle at both ends, but I love being in the chaos. I just want it to be a fun environment, you know, and just be fun, you know?
Well, it has been chaotic, especially when it comes to you and Al Reynolds, apparently. What happened between you and Al?
I think he hates me.
That's a strong statement.
I do.
Hates you?
Mm-hmm.
Why?
I don't know. But it feels that way sometimes. And this is someone that, you know, we were friends, you know what I mean? And I know he always wanted to do this kind of stuff, and I have him on there, and it's like, I sometimes feel like no good deed goes unpunished. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you've probably been in a situation before where you're like, man, this would be great for you. And then there's a reason for someone to be mad at you. I don't know. There was a like build up over the years of little things. I'm a person that pays a lot of attention to character and things that you do. If your actions don't match your words, you know, I will make a note to self, you know, and just little things happen over the course of the last few years that have been hurtful. He knows. He apologized for one of the things before. But
did you find him talking about you behind your back? You did. And it was hurtful. Allegedly, some of the things that you may have been told Al said about you or shown receipts, you know, maybe that has happened too. You were hurt by it because you really thought and I see you tearing up too. You thought you two had a friendship, and again, stop me if I'm wrong. And by the way, she never told me any of this, so I'm not like trying to bait her. I don't know anything. It appears that you were informed that Al was allegedly talking about you, possibly may have been shown receipts that he was talking about you, and it hurt your feelings. I've never seen you tear up about anyone. Why are you tearing up about Al? What is it the stuff that he said, or was it a betrayal to you?
I'm sick of being the bad guy. For what? Like, why am I the bad guy in this situation? I've had to be the bigger person on several times about things, you know? And it's like, I'm just tired of being misunderstood. And I'm so conflicted. Like, I want to tell you everything with the dirty little details and what I saw, what I didn't say, what I heard, and what I know. But then I know that's going to affect anything moving forward. So I'm kind of stuck in... Remember Superman when those 3 villains were in that glass thing and they were kind of moving around and they got cracked out and they were able to be free? I feel like I'm in that right now. I can't really tell you because I still have some hope to save my baby. And so I'm trying to protect. But then I also want to protect myself and defend myself for all the stuff I see that's out there that's not true.
Girl, I'm going to just say it like this. If is that toxic? I don't care how good the check is. You just need to go ahead and let that go and not wait for them to end it, because to me, that's what it's sounding like she is allowing to happen. If it's that toxic, if it hurts that much, if it's got you to the point of tears, then you don't need to do it anymore. Because not to try to associate myself with her, but I understand the feeling of being someone in a position of authority and people treating you as if you're not a human being and you don't have feelings, because it's like, listen, I might own this business, but I'm also not a robot. I have feelings, and when people do things and they misunderstand you and they do things that can cause a detriment, it's hurtful. And you have the right as a human being to show emotion and expression. Now, while I don't know a whole lot about her, and there has been a number of things said about her, it doesn't mean that she's wrong all of the time. So I definitely will give her that.
And if y'all really knew everything, y'all would totally be you would be like, I feel you, Claudia, you know? But, like, again, I'll be deemed messy from this because someone's going to take 10 seconds of this interview and they're going to focus on that. They're not going to watch this part. Mm-hmm. So I really can't win. Mm-hmm. If this show goes away for real, I'll come back and tell you the part that I feel like you would be like, oh, okay, you know? But it's been hurtful. Like, if I know someone has always wanted to do something and then I can help with that, and it happens. And then that person, like, kind of resents you. You're like, what did I do wrong to you? Now, little things here and there. We've had a little on the show, of course. I'm used to that, though. I work with comedians. We talk big shit, and then we, like, laugh about shit later. But this is different. It's different.
Something is deeper. Something more happened that she said, if the show doesn't come back right now, she's trying to save her baby, as she calls it. But if it isn't coming back, then she said she's going to come back and really give the tea. So I am definitely interested, because it's like, what in the world happened? Like, really, I really am interested to know what happened.
And I don't get the grace a lot of people get. Like, when I cry, it's like, oh, here she goes, she's being a victim. Mulatto tears and all this other shit. Like, no one has, like, empathy when I get like this.
Oh my God. Now mulatto tears. Well, hey, if they're saying that about her, then they could say the same thing about Al too, because isn't he also biracial? And I will say this about Al, even though he seems like a very sweet guy, I guess, I don't know, he does strike me as someone who is messy as well. Like, I'm just going to be honest. And I'll go back to the history, and I actually was going to do a video about it. I may still do it. I'm not going to go into the details right now, but just even from his past, some people may say he was honest with Star about his sexuality. He says that he's a bisexual man, and she's always known that. But some people do feel that he did not need her in terms of financially, because it wasn't like he was some guy who was a waiter at a restaurant that she hooked up with and decided to make her husband. But she had access to something that he wanted, which was the spotlight. Because there are some people who clamor for that attention. And he has been put in a position, I personally feel, being in that relationship with Star springboarded him into a place of having access to the entertainment world that he did not have before. It was just the corporate world, the education world, right? And now he's working, or has been at least, working with Fox Soul and TGIF, and then doing red carpets at some of these different events, going to Essence and all this other stuff, and he absolutely loves it. I'm just basically saying, if Claudia has helped to advance him in any way to be in this entertainment industry, and then he kind of gave him her chapped, clear ass cheeks to kiss, then I could understand why she would feel betrayed. But again, I don't know the full story, so all I can do is just assume.
Like, I see online, like, some people will be like, oh, wow, but then others, like, Like, I think people think I have my life so good that I don't deserve grace. Like, oh, you're good. You rich, or you got this, you got that. Fuck your feelings, basically, what it feels like. But I'm a real person that just wants the same consideration I give others. I just want, like, some kind of loyalty. Some kind of, like, don't maybe say, fuck Claudia to someone that's, like, my op. You know what I mean? Or when we're still I gotta be on TV with you and be cool and smile. And I've had to do that many times throughout the years. And just suck it up, you know? And there's never, like, I just feel like I can get used for opportunities, and then, like, my friendship part of me can be thrown away, but you still benefit for what I can do for you, you know?
That's true. And it is hurtful, but I will say this. I don't know how long she and Al had been friends prior to this opportunity of them all being on this show together, but if she helped to springboard him to be there, and then he, you know, gave her his ass cheeks to kiss, then I would understand. But being at the age that she's at and how much she said she's endured and gone through, at this point you would think that she's learned a lesson. And in life, we go through stuff. We go through hard things. And sometimes we go through these things repeatedly if we don't learn the lessons the first time. And what I will say is, it is possible that it was something that she was supposed to learn. And these hardships that she claims that she's gone through, like, you know, going through bankruptcy, losing her homes, depression, losing jobs, all of these different things, getting to like a very, very low point. I'm not saying you get to that point in life where it's like when you come back up, you don't trust anybody ever again. So no, you shouldn't be that way. But if anything, she should have learned that friendship ends where business begins. And that was business. So her thinking, oh, we're friends, we're cool, let's do this show together, blah, blah, blah. Big mistake. Big mistake. So again, I'm interested to know more about what really happened, but I still am going to just check it out and see what comes out more of this, and would really love to know what you guys think. So you can let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Thanks for being here, liking and subscribing. I'm Beth, just being beautifully honest. So until next time, I wanted to keep it brief, beautiful, and now I'm going to say bye.